Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrooter.com with your morning horn disease, your sip of chaga coffee. Debt ceiling. Both sides declared victory as they've come to an agreement in, quote, principle, which means both sides want to get a little more, but they're taking it back to the people who have to vote on it, the people in Congress, and saying, we can't get everything. This is a negotiation, but boy, did we get some good stuff. The Democrats are saying, hey, I thought the debt ceiling was untouchable. I thought that had to be negotiated separately, and all these other things. And the Republicans are like, why are we giving up all this spending? Will they agree? Again, I don't think Congress can agree on toilet paper, much less a budget or the debt ceiling or anything. An interesting part to this, quote, agreement is the removal of the debt ceiling. So, yeah, it says the deal raises the debt limit and keeps non-defense spending near flat for 2 years while cutting and capping various other programs. After 2025, however, there will be no budget caps. That removes the debt ceiling. I'm all in favor of removing the debt ceiling, absolutely. Why? Because it'll give Congress open wallet to flood the world with money, and people will understand even faster what an insane system we live in is. But will it actually get passed? Yeah, well, Trump doesn't want it to. That's an interesting thing. You know, if you think Trump's still in charge because of all the reasons to think that, Trump on the debt ceiling, the U.S. should default if the White House does not agree to Republican spending cuts. So Trump's saying, hey, default. Why? Because we're the largest net debtor nation in the world. We would win in a default. Now, the people wouldn't. The people would be, fuck, what do you do? A default on the U.S. debt means, poof, all your money's gone. Your 401k is gone. Your life savings are gone, and we got to restart. Over time, it won't happen the day of. I think we're going to find this out. I don't think this debt ceiling, as is going to pass. Now, they might say, oh, we're getting closer. We have to extend it for a couple months type of thing. Why don't they extend it until September 11th? Wouldn't that be interesting? But, yeah, whatever it is, it's going to be chaotic. Just getting to this point has caused chaos in the banks. And a real interesting thing about the timing and all this stuff, let's see here. Musk is saying, really? Capitol Hill tell me debt ceiling McCartney negotiate with Biden includes no legitimate spending cuts or significant reforms in exchange for $4 trillion debt ceiling increase. Just a freeze next year followed by 1% increase in 2025 adjusted for inflation. Musk is like, really? McCarthy's not going to be able to sell this. The Democrats don't want it either. If the Progressive or Freedom Caucus don't blow up the deal, the plan has a chance of congressional passage before June 5th, the date Janet Yellen has warned any deal must be finalized by, in order to avoid hitting the X date when the Treasury can no longer meet its obligations. After weeks of negotiations, we have come to an agreement in principle. They haven't come to an agreement in principle. This is like a couple guys sitting in a room, okay, this is what we're going to try to sell our party on. So we don't take the blame. The negotiators don't take the blame. The leadership doesn't take the blame. It'll be all of Congress that takes the blame. No new taxes, no new government programs, McCarthy said. And then the Democrats are hating this. They're saying, hey, no, nothing should be attached to the debt ceiling removal. Crazy stuff. So yeah, this is by far not done. Whether or not it passes, it really doesn't matter, as banks on Wednesday have to declare, the FDIC is going to release a report showing just how many banks have moved into the troubled bank department, and it's a massive amount. So that'll be interesting. Can they fudge those numbers? The FDIC really does have a hard time fudging numbers because they don't want to be to blame. They're the insurance company. They don't want to be the ones to blame. Oh, we got the numbers wrong. So it'll be really interesting what happens. I haven't talked about the U.S. Mint in a while because I already know what they're going to do this year. But something happened again at the U.S. Mint, another conspiracy with the U.S. Mint. Now, this might just be a computer glitch, but I was going through the numbers to see just how much Ventri Gibson has screwed up the Silver American Eagle program. Silver American Eagles used to be the most popular coin in the world. Not anymore. This human being named Ventri Gibson took over the mint from David Ryder. When David Ryder was running the shop, I'll show you right here, he was on fire. 30 million coins every year plus and growing it again. He was meeting demand as the law required. And then he implemented the change in the Silver Eagle program and the Gold Eagle program. And that took like a month and a half. I don't know why it takes the U.S. Mint so long to change out a die, but it is what it is. They redesigned the back. It wasn't like they took these 2 months and redesigned because nothing was sold practically for 2 months. April and May of 2021, they put a new design on the back with an eagle adding an oak branch to the nest. And David Ryder's like, we're adding to the nest. We're adding to the nest. You can take that for what it is. But as soon as he left, which was in October of 2021, Ventri Gibson came on and is unable to make Silver Eagles. Like literally unable to make Silver Eagles. So I went back to check the 2022 stats again. It's mostly 900,000 that, as you can see from 2021, that's all they make. 900,000 Silver Eagles right here on the right side. 900,000. That's it. That's all you get. January was the backlog, January, December, and November. But that's it. Nobody's even asking why the U.S. Mint is unable to make Silver Eagles anymore. Now, I'm going to put this on the authorized dealers, the people who have direct relationships with the Mint. And I'll put it on guys like Andy Scheckman, who have direct via indirect or whatever he's got with his U.S. Mint crowd. We need to be demanding that the Mint either make these damn Eagles or explain why they are not, because they haven't done either, according to their reporting. They have never, ever, ever explained properly why they can't make Silver Eagles, even though they are required by law to do so. And that any kind of allocation is illegal. And yet these authorized participants, the people who buy directly for the Mint, say, okay, yeah, I've got customers who want 5 million coins a month, but you're only giving me 900,000. Even though the law says you have to give them 5 million coins, because that's the quantity to meet demand. Even if Janet Yellen laid down an edict, Janet Yellen would be the one lying. Because it still requires her, even though she gets to decide, she can't decide not to make Silver Eagles. Her only decision is, are we doing it to meet demand? So her only decision should be, are we making enough Eagles? We are not making enough Eagles. We're actually destroying the Silver Eagle program by not making a bunch. All these other coins are going gangbusters. But so I went to, again, the U.S. Mint website to see what the hell. I'm looking at it again. I'm like, okay, how many times have they done 900, right? So I'm looking at 2023, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. They have stuck it at 900, but I know there was some more in 2022. So I went to 2022 and watch this. Now you see this chart, right? You see that? Let's go to 2022. It's the exact same chart. What the hell? It's the exact same listing. That's the 2023 number. It even says calendar year 2023 here, and then it says 2022 American Eagles. What? Why do we even hire people at the U.S. Mint if they're so incompetent? You might ask, Bix, what does the U.S. Mint say about it? All right, I'll get to this. So page 17 is what we're going back to, but let's see what the U.S. Mint says about it, because it's a good question. Here's what Ventri Gibson in the 2022 annual report said about the Silver Eagle, the most precious coin program in the world. Ready? Amid the unprecedented demand for circulating coins, the U.S. Mint continues to be a world leader in bullion coin production. Wrong. Even increasing production quantities of one of our most popular coins, the American Eagle 1 ounce silver dollar. Ventris Gibson, you're either lying or you're not selling them to the public. What are you doing? Are you making 10 million ounces? I have in my possession a letter from Ventris Gibson. They sent it to all the buyers directly from the U.S. Mint that says they have expanded massively the production. And she says even here, increasing production quantities. So then go back to page 17 where they show you where the production quantities are. And it is right here. They try to hide it down at the bottom, but we can find it. Look at the Silver Eagle production capacity. 2022, they made 15,785,000 coins. A change, down 56%. Down 56% in 2022 from 2021. In 2022, Ventris was the head of the mint at all times during that year. So how in her right mind can Ventris Gibson say we've expanded production of Silver Eagles unless they're building this massive stockpile, adding to the nest, and just stockpiling it, getting ready for something like a gold silver standard? There is no excuse to this. I'm angry, but I'm excited at the same time. I'm angry that my government is lying to me. I know it sounds stupid, but the U.S. Mint should be sacrosanct. Sacrosanct? What is that word? You know that word. Should be the gold standard, so to speak, of truth and honesty. If you don't have truth and honesty in money, you are going to destroy your country. The U.S. Mint is making money of the United States of America. It's not a Federal Reserve note. They are making money for the United States of America. When the Federal Reserve notes are destroyed, that money will still be there. The coins made by the U.S. Mint will still have massive value because they are the legal entity that's supposed to be making money, not the Federal Reserve System, which is computer blips. This is gold and silver money. So what happens when Ventris Gibson, the U.S. Mint, drops the ball in Silver Eagle production, the most important coin on the planet? The Canadian Mint takes over. Look at the Canadian Mint since Ventris Gibson got in there. The Canadian Mint has gone from just 2018, they only did 18 million silver maple leaves. And look at the ramp up. Here we go, Ventris Gibson, 2021, 37.7 million silver maple leaves. The same thing, 37.1 in 2022. 2023, let's take a look at their quarterly. They are at 9 million on their way to 37 million. Almost doubling what Ventris Gibson was in charge of. As Ventris Gibson drops the ball on Silver Eagles, people are running the maple leafs and the gold. Ventris Gibson says, oh my God, the gold sales are going great. Look at this, up 18.8%. Why are people buying gold eagles instead of silver eagles? Because the silver eagles aren't there. Imagine if just a fraction of that 20% that went to gold eagles was actually being spent on silver eagles, where it should probably be spent. You would see silver eagles going through the roof. But it's the exact opposite. The big money is not allowed to buy silver. And luckily, most of the big money are really stupid. They should have been in gold and silver a long time ago. So the U.S. Mint is blocking big money from coming into the Silver Eagle program, and it's being diverted. They said, well, if you can't get me silver eagles, get me gold eagles. I mean, look at the dollar amount is shocking. I mean, just times the gold by, how much did they do? Let me do a quick calculation for you here. So in 2022, there were 1.7 million ounces of gold times, let's say, $1,900. That's $3.2 billion. And divide that by the Silver Eagles, which should be about $26. That's 124 million ounces of silver if the gold money was spent on silver eagles. The gold eagle money was spent on silver eagle money. 124 million eagles would have been sold. And how much did Ventri sell? 15.8 million. I made a graph on this too a while back. I haven't updated it, but you can see just what's going on. And I projected for this year. My projection's actually almost spot on. For the fiscal year, which ends September 30th, my projection is 10.6 million ounces. And she is right on track for that. It's a 16-year low for Ventri Gibson. Even the calendar year, the year they stamp on the eagle, is only 13 million. 13 million, which is a third of the silver maple leaves. Ventri Gibson is the most embarrassing leader of a department within the United States government in history. And that's saying a lot. And just to put that in context, it's infuriating. There it is. The new king of the crop. The silver maple leaf. Those damn Canadians are kicking our ass. They'll do 37 million again this year. That's probably their capacity. I don't know. They might be building out for later in the year. I don't know. Clearly, the U.S. Mint is massively broken, and that's what we're supposed to be trusting in the future. That's the sad thing. If they really are making the Silver Eagles and really are hoarding them for the crash in the monetary system, where's the trust going to be with the U.S. Mint? Ventri Gibson, the appointment by Janet Yellen, approved by Joe Biden, have officially destroyed the United States Silver Eagle program. Officially. We are the laughingstock. And by the way, authorized participants, dealers, everybody who deals in silver, you should be screaming directly to the mint, to the people you buy from and the mint. This is illegal what you're doing. It's embarrassing. Go after them. Stop being like the mining CEOs. Mining CEOs are afraid to talk about silver conspiracy. Are you kidding me? This silver conspiracy is what's putting your company out of business. Putting all your employees taken away from what's on their table every night after they spend their whole day and night working in the silver mines trying to get that precious metal out of the ground to sell it to customers. You should be the richest companies in the world, but the CEOs are sitting on their ass and not doing a thing. I'm going to some silver symposium in September in Vegas. They asked me to speak. I said I will only speak if I can talk about silver conspiracies, because that's how I got kicked out of the Silver Summit. I was screaming at the CEOs. What are you doing? Allowing these criminal banks to rig the price of the only thing you're responsible for is silver, and you are screwing it up. There should be lawsuits up the yin-yang against the U.S. government, against the market riggers, J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan got busted and proven that they're a silver rigger, and nobody cares. Nobody does a thing about it. Jeffrey Christian should be in jail. He shouldn't be speaking at this symposium that's coming up. Bring it on, Jeff. Again. He'll probably have the CEOs kick me out. I don't even know, truthfully, if I'll be able to talk about the conspiracy stuff, because that's what happened at the Silver Summit. And look what happened to the price of silver since then. Nothing. Nothing happened to the price of silver, because you're not allowed to talk about manipulation, because that's a conspiracy theory, even though it's so obvious to anybody who has half a brain. Even if their half a brain is stuck to a toupee on their head, I think, yeah, I think Jeffrey Christian's a smart guy, but I know he's not working for the good guys. I know he's working for the riggers. He's not that smart a guy. He's not that good a rigger either. He panics all the time. Cracks me up. Anyway, that's what's going on in my world. Again, the Canadian Mint is right on track. They're making silver maple leafs like they're going out of style. Congratulations, Canada. Ventri Gibson and the U.S. government. This is the most embarrassing thing ever. If you want to be taken seriously after the old system crashes and we're gonna have the mint make our money in the future, we're gonna have to get a different mint. Maybe the U.S. should contract out to the Canadian Mint to make silver eagles, because they seem to have no problem at all doing it. Ventri Gibson is making 1/3 of what the Canadian Mint is making, and claims she's expanding capacity. That's my rant for today. Going to be an interesting week next week when they come out with the banking shortfalls. The troubled bank list is going to be massive, in my opinion. The 3 banks that have gone down so far from the FDIC, not one of them was on the FDIC troubled bank list. Think about that for a second. That's the world we live in. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.